Good evening. We may have encountered an issue where I tried to mess with noise gates and such right before the stream started. Might not be my most sensible of moves. So please let me know if I'm randomly cutting out, and I will just turn off the noise gate and we deal with background noise. But let's also just go ahead and get into game. How is everyone doing? Ravnak, you can do your spiel about how to activate drops. Then you can do that spiel again in about 10-20.
I can find that link again because I've not got it in my clipboard anymore.
Comms are inconsistent. I'm just going to ditch the noise gate for now. I'll fix it for the next stream. It might be a bit clickety-clackety. My keyboard. Seems better now. I didn't change anything. we've got Ravnak and Sniggy with. I'm gonna get Sniggy to offer me technical support. Probably immediately after this stream. If he's still awake, that is.
What time are you going to tonight?
We are not gonna do 5 hours and 15 minutes again. Tell you that for sure.
Good.
We've got pretty much a hard stop at midnight this time. So probably about 2.5 hours. That in mind. Let's get into game. Yeah, I thought we might take a look around IAE quick. Haven't actually been to the show floor. Then maybe we'll take a look at Salvation. Yeah, I can see where it's messing up. It's basically if I talk for longer, it's fine. If not. Right, we're just going to turn it off. We can blame me for messing with stuff 5 minutes before I was scheduled to go live. So I am very sorry for the little bit of background noise that's liable to come through. But Rav, yes, please tell us how drops work and how people can make sure that they get shiny new armors.
Okay, I've thrown the links into the chat already. So you need to follow the instructions in the link, which will let you pair your account from Star Citizen to Twitch. You then watch. Is it 4 hours of stream? I've forgotten the number. Which doesn't have to be.
Yeah, we're looking at 4 hours. Yeah. And it can be any Star Citizen themed stream. So yeah, as long as somebody has it set in the Star Citizen category, you're good. Doesn't have to be me. I won't be offended.
Yeah, basically, if you want to check your progress, if you click on your icon on the very top right of your Twitch browser window, whatever, you'll get a drop down. About 8 down is drops and rewards. It will give you the progress on what you're watching. When you hit 100%, you need to click on it, and it will take you to a little claim bit that you have to do, and that's it.
I think because I had it up last night as well. I think I missed the bit where I clicked claim, so I don't seem to have this armor. I had all the opportunities, having watched myself, but I still failed to actually get it. This is where I need to remind myself of how you actually get to IAE. I assume it's where the go-kart track was. Emphasis on the shiny with the armor. Is the armor quite shiny, Jacques? It looked like it had the potential to be. Like they used the subtle muted light of Nyx to tone down the shiny. I definitely sort of find with my because I got the other set. It's quite shiny under the bright lights of Stanton. I did finally find a helmet that goes with it though, that gives me combat markers. So I'm pleased with that. Hey Alfred, how you doing? How you doing? Let's have a look. Vision Center? That sounds right. And there's a bunch of IAE signs, so let's go take a look. Let's also have a look at when the actual manufacturers are. Anvil Day is actually my most looked forward to one this year. Mostly because I want to go and borrow a paladin again. For 2 days of easy turret gunning fun. And see if the paladin is really good for killing Persei, however we've decided you need to say that. Hey Mr. Spuddy Spud. I almost said Mrs. Puddy Spud, so I caught myself on that for a second. Did I just miss a shuttle? No, okay, that shuttle was coming for the other platform. I wondered if I just zoned out too much because I was trying to read at the same time. Also need to make sure I don't make the mistake of yeah, sort of playing the game off the stream capture, which is 2 seconds behind. Yeah, you probably don't want to add glow sticks to it, that's all I can say. Although Rav does have a tendency to, what is it, stealth yellow armour with extra stealth glow sticks for contested zones.
I mean, it has not actually failed me yet.
It's the element of surprise.
It's like a wasp. I warn people
have to
off
do a
with my
double
bright
take.
colours.
I'm wondering, did I bring any beverages with me to the show? I did not. Although I heard that the vendors are selling crews, but that they ran out of inventory. So we might have to actually, you know, speak to a person rather than using a self-serve checkout. One of the things that noise gate was quite good at, I've realised, was covering up the sounds of my dog's tiny little feet. So you might get to hear a Krug pitter patter in the background from time to time. This is a long old shell, isn't it? But yeah, is anybody particularly excited? Has seen anything particularly exciting this IE? I'll be honest, I've been completely absorbed in like all the stuff in Nyx, and I haven't been paying all that much attention to the show itself, or indeed to many of the new ships outside the Perseus. We will take a look at the Salvation a bit later. Need to get a Krug cam set up for when he enters the room. He's the real boss around here. It's his house. I just live here. Yeah, exactly, Kim. I've just been like, you know, shows in Stanton. I'm in Nyx now, so. Is the, I assume by the Drake Fugly thing that you probably mean the Clipper? Is that right, Jock? Yeah. Is the Clipper out? Or was it in like a PTU or something? Oh, it's out. Oh, I should have got one of those. I assumed that would be waiting until Drake Day. Better not forget to get off the train. Yeah. Might have to have a look at it. Sorry guys, I might have to just stop my dog scratching his own eyes out. Be right back.
Ah, I now have time to catch him up.
You're 30 giggies away.
I'm aware that I'm a long way away because, you know, I had to run a random patch they dropped on me before I could get in. I was going to quickly shift over. I've got my convention outfit ready and everything, and nowhere near.
I gotta say, this is pretty cool. It is funny when you see the ships like next to other stuff that gives them scale. How absolutely massive they are. So the clip it. Okay, is the Drake show floor opened, has it? I guess I'll probably see it in about like a minute, but I can't wait. Might have to go have a look. I will not get dragged into buying all of the clothes. My inventory is full up enough. Hey Caleb. Nice to have you here. As discussed yesterday was my first stream in about a year. So now we're doing 2 in 2 days. So we go either side of the coin round here. Either we don't stream at all.
He's on YouTube. You might want to give him the spiel.
Ah yes, this is a good chance to mention. Thank you, Ravnak. We are multi-streaming because I know that some people just prefer YouTube as a place to watch streams. However, if you want to get the drops, you want to be watching on Twitch. You can have both running at the same time, and you can always just mute the Twitch stream and then watch on the YouTube stream. But in order to have the drops enabled, it's only a Twitch thing. Because Chris Roberts wants Star Citizen further up the front page of Twitch, I assume. Well, a little bit of stuttering, but you can kind of understand why.
I like that he chose the promotional campaign for Call of Duty Black Ops, I think it is, to sort of go up against in a competition he's definitely going to win.
You know, somebody said yesterday, or maybe it was this morning while I was hanging out in Discord. Yeah, sorry, SMG. It's just the one suit of armor. I think it's the Geist type set. So yeah, you just get one for watching 4 hours. That was quite well timed for someone to demonstrate the point of entry for the Salvation. Somebody said in Discord this morning that the Salvation reminded them of the apple pies you used to get from McDonald's. You know, like apple pie in a cardboard wrapper, a cardboard box. And I can't unsee it. It's now kind of ruined it for me, and I haven't even been in one. So yeah, I'm a bit like, I almost want a skin for it that's just like, you know, the McDonald's apple pie wrapper. Does Ravnak need salvation? Do you need salvation, Ravnak?
Not that I'm aware of.
To be fair, I have. I've bought 3 of them for various giveaway purposes. Don't burn your mouth on the filling. Yeah, I have quite a bad history of burning myself on food that I just couldn't quite resist eating. So we've got the Meteor. Oh right, okay, so a bit different. So is RSI also Kruger? Is this just a skin for the wolf? Or is this the daddy wolf? No, just the L21. I haven't seen it in red before.
That one goes faster.
But naturally. We're all orcs around here. Hey Bandit, how are you doing, mate? Yeah. I can't get whether I like the wolf or not. It's one I'm not quite sold on. I'm not sure. Although we were doing
Me into Red Rocket.
we were doing some Apex Worm the other day, and then Flint turned up and provided us with some fire support, gunning down all of the massive wave of NPCs that spawned with the Gatling guns. And then I did quite like it in that moment, for sure. Yeah, this is... Alright, so one of them is the Alpha Wolf. Okay. But we don't know which one's which. Classic. Got the good old Perseus. I'm surprised that, you know, the whole verse is not just cluttered with abandoned Perseuses now. I think I'm going to settle on Perseuses. Persei sounds wrong.
Percy's?
Perseus. L22 Wolf sounds cooler than L21 Wolf. Alpha Wolf. I'm just going to say Alpha Wolf. I do love that they go to these lengths. Because they could so easily just make this just entirely a, you know, a website-based sale event. But the fact that they built all this out, I remember I started playing around an IAE in like 2019, and yeah, I remember going and like walking around a Carrick and just being like quite blown away. So I see they've just got everything out this year. It's just one big show. But I'm guessing the rentals, are they like limited by the day? Because this is what I would really like to rent. I realise I should have probably spent more time with the Paladin. Because it does seem like kind of a perfect 2-3 man ship. Which grind out some of the patrol missions, which we'll probably have to do a little bit of. Yeah, I get you, Matt. It is quite cool just being able to go in and see everything. It means you don't have to like go back every day. It means there's not the added stress and strain of sort of watching having them switch over. You know, I am tempted. I purposely don't talk about buying ships very much. Because I do always stress that you don't need to buy anything other than a starter pack. And I will stick to that particular gun. But I also stick to it's your money and you do you, and that applies to me as well. So if I have a temptation, I think that temptation is a Paladin. I thought it would be a Perseus, but then they made the Perseus $800. Then it all of a sudden disappeared on me. I was not so tempted by the Perseus anymore. But now the Paladin is looking a lot nicer. Just need to make sure that you don't justify a Paladin as cheap because you're comparing it to a Perseus. That's the key thing. Still expensive. Oh nice, you're already in a Paladin. So I've got a couple of friends, like IRL friends, who are getting into the game at the moment, and I just think the Paladin will be the perfect ship to take them round in doing combat. Yeah, I feel you, Jug. I've got a Connie at the moment that I'm not overly attached to, and a Redeemer. And the Redeemer I used to love, but now it just feels really, really underwhelming. Let's go. I'm guessing Drake's going to be over the other side. So let's maybe run across and let's see if we can take a look at this Drake Clipper.
How did you get to this wonderful expo?
You take the there's the Vision Center tram, so you take the tram to the spaceport at Horizon.
Okay.
When you're in the shuttle station, there is the whatchamacallit, there's a shuttle that goes to the Vision Center.
Okay, I found it.
Yeah,
2-minute wait. God.
I really miss the old Redeemer. I have no idea why that thing needed to lose its size 5 guns. Just why? I felt it was a really good ship in a really good place. Now it's basically a 3-person hammerhead turret. Like, weird. Can't quite place it. Right, so that's Mirai on the left, Crusader on the right. What's the middle one? Right. The logic would tell me Misk next to Mirai, but let's see. Consolidated Outland, completely wrong, completely wrong. Go back and edit the cut. Go back and edit it. Just do a really sloppy edit. Me being like, looks like Consolidated Outland. All 4 for Drake. By the process of elimination myth, I was going to get there. I think I've been in all the other ones, managing to miss it. Guardian. You're an avid Guardian enjoyer, aren't you, Rav?
I mean, as much as you can enjoy a Guardian.
I mean, it looks really fun. And it's definitely
That's
got
the,
TIE Fighter vibes.
That's the MX you're looking at by the looks of it.
Let's see what the sign says. You are correct. I'm right in thinking the MX trades the creature comforts of things like a bed for more guns.
Yeah, they ripped the bed out. The space for the bed is still there, which is very irritating.
It's just like, you just can't have a bed. You're not allowed to sleep.
Yeah, they're just taking it out because you're not allowed one.
You just got to eat some Percocet chocolate and keep fighting. Yeah.
It's a little bit more up armoured, even though armour doesn't do anything. It loses a little bit of mobility. It's got a very funky screen. It's got the sort of monitor screens on it, where like if you cut the power, all your vision goes. You know, that's an upgrade from, you know, clear windows, obviously. Maybe. I really like the ships. They're really fun to fly. They're just, unfortunately, they're heavy fighters, and I don't know what the light fighter changes have brought. Maybe they're slightly more competitive now, but their problem was light fighters kick your ass. So.
Mm-hmm. And big ships like Connies and Corsairs, etc.
Don't care about you.
Well, and also they're not that less manoeuvrable than you, right?
Not much, no.
Oh, interesting, Simon. So the base and the MX are notably different in the manoeuvring characteristics, are they?
Yeah, you strafe worse in the MX is the most noticeable bit, but still outstrafe anything big, and you don't outstrafe anything small. So again, that's the awkward thing I find with them. Like, I love the design, I love the concept, but they've not got the rock paper scissors worked out yet. So I think it's one of those things of, you know, in a year's time or something, I might be singing its praises again.
I just got myself a mega stack. Interesting. Can I reach to hit close? Yes, thank God. I thought I was being smart, finding my way a different way out of the Intrepid here. I was not. I gotta say, moving completely on from Guardian talk, the Intrepid is genuinely one of my, like, I struggle to say favourite, but like, I think it's really underrated. I think it got a poor reception based on its ugly duckling vibes, and also based on the fact that they didn't have a big enough gun on it. But but yeah, I just think it's great. I'll be honest, as a piece of design. And yeah, Noise, you've got to embrace the asymmetry. But it's just like I think it's just a really well put together ship. Little like, you know, I mean, it's basically a little Nomad in a way, because the Nomad does the same sort of thing for me, like space camper vibes, which I'm all here for. Yeah, the gun. What's the gun on it? It's size 4 now, isn't it? When they first launched it, it was like a single size 3, and that was terrible. I'm not gonna lie. I took it into some combat, and I ended up walking away, going, nah. It's it was at that time when they first launched it. It was a proper pea shooter, like. Struggled with a made my way through a VLRT, and then struggled with an LRT. You compare that to the guns on like a Titan, and it's yeah, different. It was weird.
The elevator to get to where you are.
Yeah, just down to the exhibition hall, I think, was on the elevator. I think they've only got 2 options on the elevators this time. Right, Hall 4 for Drake. There we go. Drake, Grey Cat and Origin. Got those symbols. Yeah, the Titan can't go wrong with an Adventure Titan. In my opinion, it's old. It's the opposite end of the scale to the Intrepid, right? The Intrepid is really, really well designed. All the buttons, all the gubbins, nice living area, like thoughtful layout, cool vibes with the whole, like, you know, the drop-in cargo that you can access from up top and all that sort of stuff. But its actual utility lacks. Whereas the Titan is the other way round. It is old and it is tired, and all the other ships that have come after it have massively outpaced it and made it look even older. But it still absolutely slaps. Like, it's still great as a ship. Yeah, if they ever get round to doing a gold pass on the Titan, it will be amazing. Because I would love to see a Titan done up to the standard of some of the new ships. Right, so that's our go. There we go. That stands out like a literal sore thumb. Wow, that is bigger than I thought it was. I'm not gonna lie. Sawn off Corsair vibes. I was about to say, how do you get into it? And then somebody opened it from... Or maybe I telepathically opened it. Feel like I'm letting these gentlemen down. They came in business attire. Well done to those folks. Right, so what we got in here? Got a little cargo area. Oh, hi. There we go, Rav. Rav's got his... What's your t-shirt on here? Visit Pyro, get crabs. Excellent. And you got an ice cream. And you didn't bring me an ice cream.
Because you can't put it in your pocket, which is probably sensible.
Right, don't get in the pilot seat seems to be the key message here. Right, so tier 3 med. Tier 3 med beds on a Drake ship. A Drake ship's allowed med beds if they're not literally an ambulance.
It's for all the injuries you have for being on a Drake ship.
Yeah. This is how we heal the person after we have to cut them out of the pilot seat. Well, this feels like something of a rabbit warren, not gonna lie. Right, so this is an elevator. I'm just like, do I just pull this lever? Let's see. Where do I end up? That's pretty neat. Let's take that back up. So did I walk past a crafting table? Is this the crafting table? I assume so. Let's pop the lights on so I don't have to just headlamp it. So I'm wondering, is this space just going to take like one of those machines? Or is it, it's just got its own 3D printing? Excellent. I'm glad you guys are here, because my powers of observation are clearly not particularly high right now. Yeah, to be fair. You can't craft anything too big in here, surely, because you gotta get it through the doors. That doesn't seem like you've got all that much room to do so. So yeah. Still, that does look really cool. Right, where does this ladder go? To the bridge, where we will not get into the pilot seat. Wow, we won't get into the pilot seat because this poor schmo is already stuck in it. Unlucky buddy.
Serves him right for having such a ridiculous outfit.
I feel silly wearing my cape now. Sorry, we've got dog zoomies on the go in the background here. Because Krug had to go out in the cold. So but yeah. I'm not gonna lie, I feel like this could grow on me. This could definitely be a little. I mean, this is basically the room of the space caravans now, isn't it? This might as well be renamed to the Space Caravan Hall.
I'd like to say that I really, really like this for a drippy shower.
I also like that you shower right next to the engine core for extra safety and radiation. Yeah, this feels like it could be the ultimate in off-grid living, and again, like I always think it when I see new Drake ships, like they are building up to that Kraken, right? Like all of these insanely detailed parts. Like this is all with the Kraken in mind, I think, every time they make a ship from Drake. They're looking ahead to the fact that that is going to be a substantial job, so they need to make all these like little tiny bits of it. Well, first impression, I really like it. I like it more from the inside than I do from the outside right now. Be interesting to see how it flies. Very Drake. Very, very Drake. The only thing not very Drake about it is it doesn't seem to have a great deal of guns. So it's got one hardpoint on the wing there. Got plenty of missiles. I'm going to say those look like size 3 Gatling guns. Those look like Mantises. I've took the express route down, I see.
Did you know that this ship has working coat hooks?
Working coat hooks.
Seems so. There's like little coat hook kind of things above the bed that will not take any items.
Night
I
Bandit.
assume that's
Catch
for
it.
coats.
4 size 3s. 4 size 3s, thanks, Smith. This is the good thing and the bad thing about like not really doing any research onto upcoming ships. You get to like look at it and do the like eyeballing, like size 3 maybe. I can't stop looking at it though. That's a good sign. I go to walk away. I'm like one more look, one more look. But yeah. Might have to have a play with one of those.
I kind of love it, and what I also love is they have not fucked around with secret tunnels and giant dead spaces inside that. That is clearly 100% space used.
Yeah, yeah. Which does make me slightly worried about if ballistic ammo ever starts perforating ships. But that's a problem for another day. And will probably never happen. One of the... So Origin get a really bad rep. Because, you know, for years it was the 890 jump Space Whales, right? But, like, they do have some great ships. In particular, it's not that one, but, like, the 315p, I think, is a great ship. And the 400i has a lot of promise. The 325A was my first ever ship. And it then got turned into a Drake Cutlass. But no, it was the first one that I looked at and I went, I would like that. So...
You played around on one of their jet bikes because they're good.
I don't know that I actually have that much. I'm mostly more a Dragonfly man. Particularly now I have the Space Kitty Dragonfly in my hangar.
Selling point 1 is like a little bubble car and you can pretend you're the perp.
Okay, sold. Next.
Selling point 2, they are like really drifty and nippy, and that's just very, very fun to just like do donuts around a hangar in them.
This is probably going to trigger somebody, but like the one thing I struggle with. Why no Ranger? Where are my actual bikes with actual wheels? That's what I want to know. We've had never-ending hover bikes, but like...
In the future, nobody uses wheels. They put them as landing gear on vehicles that cannot travel forward while on the floor. They weld them all shut.
That is true. That is true. Why can I not taxi my Vanguard? Is there anything actually worth buying from the components? I wonder. Might have to take a look around later and see if there's any kit I should be getting.
Is there a gun rack somewhere this year? Do we have lots and lots of railguns to pick up?
I don't know that they do that for this one. Is that For a second there, I thought that was a TS2. I was just like, whoa, 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 whoa. Stop the presses. Wait, is there a railgun? Is there a railgun rack noise? If there is, then I will be buying a ton of railguns. Though the year that I bought the most railguns, it was because we lost them all the time, and we needed them for railgun duck hunting. But I did sit and watch like there was a 3x60 mini-series on Netflix, and I sat and I watched the whole thing, and I pretty much just sat there and I bought just endless railguns, Animus missile launchers, and P6 sniper rifles. Right, I think this is pretty much it, isn't it? Did we miss a hall? Don't think we did. Right. Let's head back to the spaceport.
Can't have an ice cream now, but I could get you a lovely apple. It's just as good.
Every child ever has definitely 100% agreed with that statement. You cannot have the ice cream, but here is an apple. It will make you just as happy.
Yeah, it's like nature's candy.
I'll pass. Hard pass on fruit. Nah, I'm only joking. I ate some delicious pineapple earlier today, and I can agree it is actually nature's fruit, nature's candy. Yeah, only store bought, available at the shops. That's fair. That's fair. I was thinking it might be a convenient way to replace all of my grade A industrial shields that I need to replace, because the patch does seem to have robbed me of quite a few components. That is a pretty good view. Sorry, not you, Ravnak.
Well, now I'm offended.
Just the Perseus is a very good looking ship. Also, yes, we appreciate your character creation. What's the colour theme this year for the Best in Show? Does anybody know? Things I should probably know but don't.
I hope it's taupe.
Taupe. I can't even remember what type of colour taupe is. I'm not going to the Vision Centre, don't we?
One of the reasons I like
No,
taupe.
we don't want to go to the Vision Centre. Expert. It's orange. Why don't they just say orange? Two main names for colours. There we go. And I probably shouldn't hold that viewpoint. My wife is an artist. She probably thinks there's not enough names for colours.
Taupe is very beige, by the way. I, for one, would like to fly a giant hearing aid through space.
Right, let's run and get our shuttle. Might save the salvation for tomorrow, because could do with hitting up some patrols and farming a few more medals, because I've got a guy I'm selling medals, and the patch stole like 2 or 3 of them off me, so I'm 2 or 3 short, so need to get out and do our bit for the trading house wing, and get the last of the UE 6th platoon medals. There's a few of us out doing it, so we'll go and add our efforts. Oh, of course. Orange Asgard. I'll be honest, I have lost track of so much of the stuff this year. I'll confess, I'm not even quite sure what the best in show ships are. Asgard, I mean, Noise just gave that away for me. So I've got a very annoying mosquito trying to get me here. But we've also got the Polaris, right? Hey, High Life. So yeah, Asgard and Polaris. What else made the cut? Two Anvil, two RSI. So I've got a guess. Okay. Paladin? Did Paladin also make it? Let's play this game. Oh, the Zeus. There we go. Matt help me out. So yeah, did I get that right? So the Paladin as well as the Asgard? The Gladiator. Ah, some late in the day love for the Gladiator. Wasn't out. That's the one I'm tempted by, so I'm a bit disappointed. They should have made it qualify. It will get one next year, I'm pretty sure. Although, next year will... Right, okay, let's play this game. Because it's a guessing game. Next year's Best in Show. Perseus. I think the Perseus will struggle not to make it. Maybe, depending on how many people like me can't quite stop thinking about it, maybe we'll have the Clipper. I think that's going to be a popular one. If the Ironclad is out, Ironclad for sure.
I kind of thought the Iron Shad wouldn't do it. I think there's a lot of people who don't like the big boxy boy.
I should not be streaming my webcam mic. The audio, I messed things up with the gating before starting the show. So yeah, apologies for that. Let's definitely make sure it's on the Rodecaster. Unless that like materially just changed, then no. Although I'm noticing it is picking up a lot more volume, so maybe I was. Alright, okay, brilliant. I managed to go through. How on earth did that happen? Excellent, excellent. Tatsu, just one pog standard dance. Although I managed to get nearly an hour in streaming off having... I don't know what it is. My webcam mic is overly aggressive about asserting itself as the default microphone. No. I am noticing now all the work that gate was doing though. Because I was messing slightly with the gate and it just kept on completely cutting everything out. And that makes a lot more sense now because it was a webcam microphone. Total professionalism. That's what you get from this channel. That's what you get. We are very, very, very well practiced at streaming. Having done it twice this year now. So... Thank you to everybody else though for yeah, honestly that webcam I've even at times I've disabled its thing in the control panel settings. I've disabled it entirely. It's like a zombie. It turns itself back on. Yeah, go on Tatsu. It's my raffle. I can dish out raffle tickets if I want to. So yeah, you can have an extra one. Speaking of, oh, I've got passed out Sniggy in my hanger. Excellent. Didn't fancy coming to the show, Sniggy.
I went. I sat in the ship and I couldn't get back out.
All right, had to disappear.
So,
that explains more. You just relied on teleportation. Speaking of giveaways and raffles, we'll do a I'm gonna give away. I bought a few salvations. I'm gonna give away 2 of them as part of this few days of streaming. So in order to enter the draw, you have to just go to. Did I even put up a? Right, I'm gonna type the word giveaway ! Into the Loud Guns channel under Frontier Media, and we're gonna have a super secret emote code. We are gonna make it the Frontier Gold emote. I like the people guessing already. Complex was just going. He was just going. Yep. Let's just spam all the emotes. I'm gonna get entered into this giveaway. So yeah, the giveaways are distinct. So they're not distinct. There we go. They're cumulative entries. Maybe we'll do the secret eel emote. Maybe that'll be tomorrow's, but maybe it won't be. So you have to watch to find out the super secret emote, which I'm totally sure people can't get on the basis of, which emote people are doing the most. So also feel free to troll the people who aren't watching by, like, doing some false reacts, some false emoting. But yeah, the one we'll use is Frontier Gold. If you react to that in the Discord, in the Loud Guns channel under Frontier Media, then you will get an entry into our raffle for 2 RSI Salvations, or as they will be commonly known around here, McDonald's apple pie boxes. And we will give one of those. We will give one of those a little tryout. You have to get your own ships, lads. Unless you want to fly me around. We're not going to be doing particularly hard missions. Let's see. Right. In a totally safe display of piloting, I'm going to get myself aiming up, and then I'm going to run to the fridge and grab a can of Coke. It's one of the emotes are conger eel. Don't know if we've got a conger eel. What are the eels from the secret eel room, Rev?
I'm not sure. I know there's definitely moray eels creeping, but there's a whole selection of eels. Also, there is no eel room.
There's definitely no secret eel room. Right. Looking to join the org and have 1 reference so far? Excellent. As ever, with the main goal for getting those references for the org, it's just to get people to play together. So hop into the VCs, hop into the various lounges, and come to events. Events are a really good way to just get your references. But there's no need to rush it. That's the other thing. Just get to know some people. There are too many reactions on this message. Excellent. People are doing some good trolling. I like it.
We have a selection of lovely emotes.
The confusion. Thank you very much, Ram, for all of our lovely emotes.
If we ignore the prize one, the eel is winning very heavily.
Excellent. Just get more eel on the go, because people will assume that we did something regarding an eel.
There's good odds that being true a lot of the time.
Right, let's go for the 74k Space Patrol sharing mission. Because we are just looking to farm medals, so when we're all airborne, we might knock it up a notch, but we don't need to be going crazy.
Again, it did not give me anywhere near a time to click that.
No worries.
I feel like they sped this up a bit, if I'm honest.
I think they've sped up notifications this patch. But the problem is you get tons of notification messages, and then all of a sudden it's like, boom, that's the one you wanted. So. Right. Just gotta remember not to fly off this screen. What, you can't get in? Can you not get into the PU, Tatsy? There were other people having some issues. Bit worried that I don't appear to have shields. There we go. A little bit worried there, but shields felt they didn't necessarily need to come online. Let's just get those pips set where I want them. Yeah, somebody was telling me they were suffering from an error, which was just sort of account locking them. I have the deepest sympathies, because that is exactly what happened to me in what was it, 318? 318, I just pretty much got account locked for the entire time until they rolled it into like 318.1. I pretty much just, I was lucky that I had an alt account. So let's just be a bit delicate with this ace pilot. Just don't want to smash him. Yeah, 318 was out for a month, and that was quite painful. Right. Let's see, are these guys actually moving towards me? Do I have time to go and get that ace pilot? I don't. He saw me. He saw me. Just have to make sure we come back and get eyes on him before it moves on. This is why some of these missions can be way more efficient for farming ace pilots, though, because if you don't have so much going on around you, it can be a bit easier to keep track of them and make sure that you're on top of them before the mission ends. Oh. I flew off that screen. That was my mistake. Or maybe I accidentally activated cruise control. Let's see. We can watch the vid again. Right, I am. That was yeah. I'm not quite sure where that one came from or why the ship didn't seem to slow down. Right, let's do an exit to menu and relog to get straight back to the hangar. I think we've done enough of Auras and city transport for the night. What are you flying, Rav?
I am flying a words Guardian.
You able to get on top of that mission and just get on top of that ace pilot, just so we don't lose that one? Because I will do the fast travel to hangar. Let's see. Well, there we go. Maybe I should have opted for sitting in a turret, which is exactly why I want a paladin. There we go. That was just to explain why. But thankfully, we can just do this and skip the transit. Yeah, at the point of 5 character repairs, I would probably give up 2 Tatsu. It's and if you've got another account, then I just it pissed me off. It pissed me off a lot in when it happened to me in 3.18, because I was sort of sat there. I was like, well, I could still play because I just logged in on my old account, but I was just like, I shouldn't have to pay $50 again to play the game. Like, if I didn't have that alt account, like, my options would be don't play or buy another copy of the game, which, like, then there needs to be, and I raised support tickets, and they were basically like, we know about this problem, but we're not doing anything about it. And I was just like, this isn't how customer service should work, frankly. This is why we have 2 F7As. Not that this happens to me very much. Honest. Happens all the time. Speaking of 0 to hero runs, I wonder. I'm still thinking about that clipper. So you got a med bay, you got a crafting bench. You got. I'm wondering if when like crafting tier 1 comes out, clipper 0 to hero live off the land might be like a really fun thing to do. I assume for crafting you're gonna have to like do mining in order to feed your crafting. So the clipper almost certainly can hold a rock mining buggy. I wonder if we could squeeze a golem in there. Probably too big. Almost certainly too big now I think of it. However, that would be amazing. But I wonder if you could do like a clipper golem combo, 0 to hero, live off the land, don't buy anything. You have to make all of your own gear. Yeah, I said it out loud and then I realised exactly how unrealistic it is, Noise. I was like, I realised that I was wish thinking rather than thinking. Would be really nice if it did. Right. Let's just try this again. Let's just imagine that this is F7A number 1. Maybe I'll just quickly sort out my pips beforehand. Okay, didn't want to start that by stacking into the hangar. I wonder though, yeah, so Myth makes a good point. What will the crafter make? You need to steal food. But I do wonder if, like, with the first implementation of crafting, could we see the first implementation of cooking? Like, because cooking is just simple crafting, right? And then it would also make me happy in that, you know, we wouldn't have to just kill Copions and then steal 1 horn, which I find a bit weird, I'm not gonna lie. Rav, is there any chance you could share the mission with me?
Probably.
I seem to have lost the mission. But could we make cruise noise? That's the important thing. Can we get the recipe? I might have missed the share because it did the incredibly quick thing while I wasn't paying attention, Rav.
Press share a couple of times, but
Okay, I might just come to you. Are you sat on that Ace pilot?
I picked him up already.
Ah, cool. In that case, I might just grab us another mission.
That seems fair.
And we'll act like none of it ever happened. Right, I am sharing 3, 2, 1 now. What was the medal out of interest?
Good question. Can't see in my bag.
Shiny. Shiny is what the medal was.
Yeah, I've awarded it myself for good work.
Excellent.
Can't believe you can't wear the medals. Like, what is even the point?
Giving them to a random alien. Seems to be the main point. Which, once again, we assume he eats everything you bring him, right?
I do assume that. Oh, I'm getting fan mail now, though. How do I feel about cooking is just simple crafting? I mean, cooking is easier than welding a spaceship. I can confirm that.
Cooking is just meat plus fire equals food, right? Meat plus heat. We're off to a good start. We've had one crash into an asteroid, and now we appear to have a... They have instituted new floating derelicts in space, and they don't appear to make missions spawn. So, looks like that one's balked. Thankfully, this is where we can just switch to the Headhunter's equivalent. Space Patrol. Right, sharing a new mission, Rav. 3, 2, 1 now. I like how these NPCs get a bit annoyed at you for dropping missions, etc. Did I know that things are chopped and cooked before they're eaten? I'm vaguely aware of this, but like, this is the thing, right? Is butchery cooking? Because I would argue they're separate skills.
But steak tartare is counted as cooking.
Is it cook?
No.
Is it cooking, but it involves no meat, no heat?
It's raw steak and egg, so it's very much...
Do you call that cooking, or do you call that food preparation?
I mean, you definitely call it chefing, because if you said food preparation to a chef, he'd throw a skillet at you, I assume.
Butchers are doing.
I would put it under cooking.
Yeah, Frosty, as you can see, we get on some good tangents. Tangential streaming is very much the thing. Bit worried that this is also not giving us any targets, and it's not one of the new sites. I'm starting to think we're on a bad server, guys. A naughty, misbehaving Star Citizen server. Who would have thought? I mean, we did get one working mission. Then we didn't. Do we abandon and go for one more? If this one doesn't work, then we'll hop to another server. Let's see. Right, sharing a new one. Just 3, 2, 1 now. Exactly, Frosty. We're asking the big questions. Is butchery cooking? However, you would
cannibal chefs. That's my next question.
you would mostly sort of think that, yeah, at some point we're going to actually get use on ships for like all the kitchen facilities that they've given us. So so yeah, at that point, would it be possible? It will add a lot to the whole like off-grid, zero to hero type stuff, which I for one am really looking forward to. Well, that one said complete, that we'd gone to the coordinates. But now is it going to give us anything to do? That is the question. Oh, excellent. Alright, this one is actually working. Just a bit slow. Oh, they've got some NPCs with Jared voice. That's cool. But I can imagine it also leads to a little bit of like, did I just leave ISC playing in the background? Oh, there we go. Today we're just in Stanton, Spuddysbird. Yeah. We had a little walk around the ship show which is down at Orison. Bit paranoid checking underneath myself for rocks now. Yeah. We went to Nick's yesterday. I think for tomorrow, what I'm gonna do. So it's just an idea. I'd really like to use the Salvation, but I'd really like to use it in a proper mob. So we might do a bit of a late night wrecking crew and see if we can get everybody with Salvations. I might see how many of them I can cram on board my Idris. And then we'll go and shoot something big like a Polaris. And then we'll pile out of it in Salvations. That would be pretty funny. For anyone not knowing why I just said the word Salvation so many times, that is the new little salvaging ship from RSI. So we've got... just because I'm conscious that we did the whole chat about drops at the very beginning, Rav. And we've got some people who have joined who were not here at the beginning. I think it might be worth just doing a reminder that we are running this stream on YouTube and on Twitch, but if you want to get the drops, which get you some cool armor, then you need to be watching on Twitch. And Rav has just linked the explainer as to how you link your accounts. Because you need to just link your Star Citizen account to your Twitch account. Judging by the missiles that the last bad guy is over near you, Rav.
Might be a little near me.
I'm gonna have to teleport back.
Going for some teleportation home.
Yeah, I crashed into the corpse of the guy that you just blew up. Now I can't seem to get out of my seat again.
Twitch. Yeah, so one of the reasons we are definitely doing this as a dual stream, I am conscious that some people will just prefer watching on YouTube. So my recommendation, if you prefer to watch on YouTube, is have that one on as your primary, just have Twitch running in the background for the drops. Twitch takes so much of the streamers' money. The streamers make money. That's news. I'll be honest, I don't really think about it in those terms. I just find this quite fun, I'll be honest. It's really fun to just kick back, play some SC, talk about SC, ask the big questions. Is butchery cooking? It's compared to like all the thought and work you have to put into making videos. It's just quite different. It's, you know, it's still intense on your brain, but it's intense in a different way. Standard neutralized targets. You can just see a random abandoned Perseus in the background as well. The Perseus abandonment has started. Server frames are heading in one direction. Let's go. See, my new tactic is just let Ravnak take the lead.
This is the other thing I don't like about the Guardian. As you can see, but a missile went off near me, and I'm now in just like an infinite spin, which you can't get out of.
There we go. Are you in an endless spin?
Yep.
Oh dear, well, at least we've all had a mishap so far.
Mine was calculated in that I brought a ship that does this.
I knew what I was getting myself in for.
Yeah, pretty much.
Let's move on to the next one. Yeah, all of the VODs will also just be up on YouTube forevermore, I guess. Including my use of a webcam mic for a good hour. So, you know. I have to say, we did a lot of these ping satellite missions yesterday on the stream as we were grinding the intersect rep. I am looking forward to not doing one of these in Idris. Although, I did just pick up more speed than I expected. Let's maybe cap our speed at something sensible. Yeah, the thing with new ships is you have to learn your way around them. And I like the Perseus is not as bad as some other ones. I recently actually started using the Polaris a bit again, and have finally worked out my way around that one. These are a bit quicker to do in a ship that's not an Idris, but I do have to remember that when I hit asteroids, I won't just bounce off them, which maybe I've got a bit too used to. I would say I'm not Tatsu, but then all of a sudden I have a moment where I do. Yeah, I think the trick with the intersect grind is going to be get one person really high up in it. And I think it's the same, it's going to be the same with the newer Vaughn missions as well, because they seem very grindy. So a tactic that you can use for like high level grind is to you focus rep onto one person. So you do that by like giving them sort of a ship with like some turret gunners on it, You get in a party, and then basically everybody in the party takes their own mission. They share it, but the only person accepting the shares is the one person at the center. So everybody's missions get shared with 2 people, and split rep in half. That one person who you're focusing the rep on, they can do their own missions, but they don't share them. So they get like 100% of their rep, and then they get 50% of everybody else's rep. And that way you can boost that one person really quickly up through the ranks, because they're basically getting like mission complete, mission complete, mission complete. Then when they are at the highest rank possible, they then start sharing down all of the high level missions. So if you like boost somebody up, for instance, to ERTs in bounties, then they boost everybody else down because they get ERTs unlocked, then they start sharing ERTs. And then everybody's getting because the rep doubles and doubles and doubles with each level. So it takes the time investment, and it takes, having people understand that they will be giving up short-term gains for long-term gains. But that is the fastest and most efficient way for a group of people to grind rep. I believe we are going to be doing some of that on Monday night. We've got a little event because we're trying to get some of the guys who run our main salvage nights boosted up in terms of Vaughn rep, so they then have the missions to share out. Perfect, we actually completed a mission. Yeah, the Herc is a good one to find your way around. Which deck am I on? Is it the one with the big warehouse of a storeroom? Or not? I can double check. I think that might be an org event. But I can check with Arakai. I think Arakai is running it. Who might be lurking, you never know. He might speak up. Right, let's see. We can probably switch back to Headhunters. I would go for the slightly higher. Yeah, Monday nights usually salvage. Om-Nom Mondays. Which I don't think it's running as Om-Nom Monday this week. Just because the focus has got to be on getting the reps so that we can do it more regularly. So yeah. He's not lurking. Oh well, I think it's an org one. Just so we can keep it a bit more focused on getting that particular job done. But we'll be back the week after, and hopefully it'll be back with high-level Vaughn missions, which have been missing for quite a long time now. They were missing for pretty much all of the 4.3 branch, right? So yeah, it'd be really good to see those back and to see what the ones in Nyx are like. Although I would say the whole thing with like ship cargo seems to be a little bit broken right about now, I would say. Just a little bit. So yeah, remains to be seen what we can actually get out of those ships. You never know. Maybe it'll go back to the great days of drug running. Gasping weevil eggs. There we go. Some extra contacts. It's all on me now, though. Both of my co-pilots have had accidents. Although I can't point fingers, considering the first thing I did was crash into an asteroid.
mine count as an accident? You know, I had a fin shot off by, you know, aggressive people.
Should we co-opt it to setback? We'll say a setback. Doesn't sound quite so like incompetence then. The incompetence accusation was mostly levelled at myself there. Right, that is a ship. Good.
This does remind me of the other problem with the Guardian there, which is that, basically, right? Because it is starfish based, you lose a bit of your starfish and you spin and spin and spin because there's no way to like balance thrusters out, which I kind of really think they need to do to all their weird shape ships.
Yeah, the taking some slight damage and ending up in a perpetual spin does sound like it's a little bit of an oversight, a design oversight, you might say. But
it very much renders a big group of ships as inferior to all other ships that don't do this. Kind of an issue. The weirdest part of it, though, is if you think about it, they have put effort into making it like that because you have to have actually coded that in.
that this Gladius is doing some speed. Should probably have waited for it to slow down a wee bit. There we go. Pop, pop, pop. Need to sometimes just get rid of these chevrons by hard deathing these ships. Otherwise, people like me get a bit turned around. Yeah, hopefully Omnom will be back a week after, like Noise says. It is mostly just a rep thing. And some of these new reps are quite grindy, like the Intersect one seems quite grindy. I was also quite disappointed, and I don't know if it's like on purpose or bug. The Intersect, some of the other Intersect stuff you can do doesn't seem to give rep. So like, I ground out the Intersect rep to get to that like junior contractor rank. And I am quite interested to see what other missions they have, but I'm also really enjoying the Vandal Tech smuggling. But the Vandal Tech smugglers doesn't seem to give you Intersect rep. And I would have thought that should have given you a huge chunk of Intersect rep. Like it's a massive mission. But instead, I'm gonna probably have to force myself to grind through more of the go shooter guy missions. Hey Jules, how you doing, mate? Did you happen, Rav, to find out which medal you found?
Yes, it was a cartography medal.
Nice. Not as nice as 6th Platoon medals, but still nice. You just see me kitted out in my org merch. I do have a Frontier hoodie which I should probably put on, but it's actually not that cold today. In my flat at least, it's pretty cold outside of it. I think we benefit from, there is a gentleman who lives below us, and I think he really likes cranking his heating up to full. So sometimes I walk into my flat and assume that our heating must be full blast. But it's actually just him doing it for me. I'll catch you later, Angry Farm. Right. Yeah, I do need to get the mug out. I haven't had a cup of tea so far tonight. might have to have one. Get my FRCM mug out. Hey Taco, no worries at all, mate. Thank you for popping in. I would probably ideally be doing something a little bit less intense than flying around in a fighter. But we need a few more medals. A Pac-Man arcade for your in-laws. That's a story you're gonna have to tell me a little bit later. I've been getting really back into Streets of Rage recently, and it's making me quite tempted. I've been looking at a few of those like build your own arcade machine things. And one, I'm tempted to do it, but two, I think I'd have to get it past Ali. And I know that she can hear me in the background, so this is my subtle way of asking for permission. I'll be honest, Frosty. I was gonna get myself a cup of tea, but then I decided to mess around with noise gates because somebody mentioned my noise gate was cutting me out, and then I messed up the audio for the stream. so my pre-stream was just panic, to be honest. Hence I don't have my obligatory cup of tea. But soon I will hand the reins to Rav and let him run wild with whatever he wants to discuss this evening, while I go and make myself a cup of tea. Maybe after this mission. I'm starting to think that maybe, because this was happening yesterday, I'm wondering if this ship here is Defender ship. Because these don't appear to be working. They weren't working on the Intersect ones. So it doesn't seem to be giving me any prompt, but I am getting the audio for... Oh, there we go. That's why we don't look too intently at the wrong screen. Resist the urge to shoot when out of range. I do love how the under attack ship guys go from being please help me to sarcastic. Let's just get rid of those. Yeah, so I think the missions are still working as such. Like, it doesn't seem to fail it. But you do seem to get kind of what's going on here, where, like, I've lost the prompts. So there's nothing to tell me that this is this type of mission. But yeah, the just a bit of inconsistency in that voice acting that I can't get my head around. It's like, we're all gonna die to bit of an asshole. Thankfully though, this level of mission is just a bit more forgiving. There we go. So yeah, you still get all the voice lines, but it just appears to be a bit bugged in the top right in terms of the tracking. I'm just hoping it's actually going to move on to the next mission. Although, to be fair, I'm not overly worried if these complete or not. Because our main goal is just ace pilots. Right, Rav and Sniggy, you have the floor, because I'm probably going to go get that cup of tea, because I've started thinking about it almost as much as I'm thinking about the Drake Clipper. Might see if I've got some Clipper tea to go with my thoughts of the Clipper. But I just need to remember to mute myself, because otherwise all you're going to hear is my kettle. So I will be back in 2-3 minutes.
I assume means I'm now in charge. Hooray. So, chat, what do you want to talk about? My favourite dinosaur? Oh. Really like Lystrosaurus. Lystrosaurus is my favourite Triassic era dinosaur, I would say. A big fan of like ichthyosaurs and plesiosaurs, which are Jurassic and therefore don't feature in Jurassic Park. Oh, what else is good? Medallosaurus is good. I like a good Medallosaurus. My favourite colour is it's either turquoise or teal. I mean, they're functionally the same thing. One's just darker, but I do a lot of painting and I use a lot of things in the sort of turquoise spectrum. I can't think of any other dinosaurs I like. I mean, I like a lot of dinosaurs. Can you use Army Painter for Gundam models? I mean, you can use Army Painter for anything, Noise. It's not my favourite paint brand. I don't love the coverage that much on them. Like, they're not bad, but I would go like Vallejo over Army Painter every day of the week, personally. And the costing is very similar. The new Vallejo bottles they moved to about a year ago are really nice little dropper bottles as well. I'm a massive scale colour fanboy as well, so like I would go for those two brands over Army Painter personally. But I mean, yeah, you can. The big trick to Gundams is learning how to do pin washers using oil paint and thinners. That's like the Gundam trick to get those really nice black panel lines. And if you drop me a message, I will link you to really, really cool kind of cleanup tools you can buy for them, which I use for other stuff, but are principally for Gundam. They're like a little tiny bit of, I guess, like makeup sponge made in a tube, and you kind of polish the surface of models to take oil paint off them. They're very cool. This is an art stream now. We'll tell Loud when he gets back. Any more questions from the peanut gallery?
Yeah, I think as long as we turn it art citizen, as Matt has suggested, we still qualify for the drops, right? In a patrol dangerous sector mission, should I be seeing anything? Yeah, so you might be getting the. I'm pretty sure those defend ship missions are bugged. Sometimes they were still progressing. But yeah. I think that what's your favourite flavoured peanut question has to be aimed at you, Rav, because I am allergic to peanuts.
I am also allergic to peanuts. They don't kill me, but they make me vomit. So I don't tend to like them very much.
They don't kill me, but they don't like my ability to breathe. So, yeah. I tend to steer clear of all flavours of peanuts, but I would imagine barbecue would probably be my favourite if it weren't for the lack of oxygen. Hey Solak, how you doing? I got the tea. That's the important thing.
Does satay sauce count as a flavour of peanut?
Well, isn't that peanut flavoured peanut at that point?
Yeah, I don't know. I like satay sauce, which for some reason does not make me throw up.
Satay sauce is, I have to say, delicious, but also restricts my ability to breathe. So, you know, it's I once I was cooked a pad thai, which I ate the whole bowl of because it was absolutely delicious. And then the person who cooked it for me was like, oh, if you like that, there's some more in the kitchen. I was like, great. I'm going to go and get a second helping. And on my way to get a second helping, I sort of stood up, and then I was walking down the hallway, and there was just a moment where I was like, more oxygen should be going into my lungs. And then I had to sort of come back into the room and just stick my head around the corner and just like, so pad thai, peanuts, yeah. So that was fun. EpiPens are very good at what they do, though. Gotta be said. Yeah, I did feel like I made some of the noises that the Star Citizen characters make when you go outside into hard vacuum without a helmet. It was unpleasant. So yeah, which one were we on there? We were doing Headhunters, weren't we? Right. Are you back with me by now, Sniggy and Rav?
Yes.
Do I have enough support to potentially dial it up a notch in terms of contract?
I don't have like an equipped fighter, so
Probably not. This mission is being weirdly sticky in my ability to abandon it, though. Yeah. I went and picked a sniping cat up today because he got stranded without any fuel in Nyx. Because that can realistically happen when you're just jumping 25 GM between every contract when you're doing rep grind. And it took me a while to get there. And then when he jumped to me, he had forgotten to put his helmet on. Oh, thank you very much, Solak. You never need to apologise about being busy with life. That's what we should all be doing. Like, real life first. Always real life first. That's what are my favourite ships? Difficult. There are a lot of them. I do love the Idris. It's cliched. It's like, oh, of course he loves the Idris. But I love the Idris because it's the first like org level ship, if that makes sense. it's the first ship I can stick like 40 people on, and it doesn't feel like, it feels busy, but it doesn't feel like, you know, cramped. And the fact that you can actually, like, the utility of having a massive hangar, which will only go up when they implement that refueling and rearming, repairing on board the ship. But I have a massive soft spot for the mole. I love the Cutty Black. That is my daily driver. Yeah, exactly, Frosty. Busy but not chaotic. Like, we did a thing where we got like the whole. I think we had about 80 people on that Idris when I did sort of the walking tour, but of it like fully manned. And that was like it was just insanely cool to see. And yeah, we've done all sorts of stuff off it, like, you know, mining ops. We'll try a little salvage op tomorrow. Just invite anybody who wants to come and get on board if they've got a salvation, or I can claim a bunch of them and get a load of salvations on board. I think that would be pretty fun. There we go. Sharing a mission. 3, 2, 1, Sharon. I'm afraid for sorry, 1 billion AUC. Sorry, for a second there, Solak, just with the font of the typing, it looked like you'd written for 18 UEC. Which, like, it might not be able to swing like the swing the pure Karenite there. But yeah. Well, feel free to open the ticket, and we can talk about Polaris builds. We specifically do not charge like market rates, because market rates have gone silly. And yeah, people are throwing around a bit too much cash, and I think that's sort of puts things out of reach of people who have maybe just been playing normally. So yeah. I've been doing some work to sort of price up like what everything should cost on the basis of people who farm it getting paid like well, but not excessively. Just sort of for the long term. Like I think attending like an org op to go and farm stuff, like high level raid content, all that sort of thing, should like it should pay you better than like high level missions. But yeah, pure Karenite being sold for like 300 million, 400 million, 500 million is not great. Right, Sniggy, we want to clear out a couple of these guys, then pop the ace pilot and have at least one of us stay pretty close on him while we pop the last guy. Okay. That's not the ace, that's good. I'm going to pop this saber. Which one are you on?
I'm just running away to get my shields back. That's the ace. Target your, I think. Nope, my shield's dead. killed me.
Oh dear, oh dear. Well, I better run a little bit then. Let's see. Let's hide behind this asteroid. Let's get some shields recharging. Yeah, I would not be surprised by a wipe. I think it's probably gonna be, preview. I think Ben and I are probably gonna talk about that on our next podcast. So I'm not gonna pre-gun. Do you notice though how like a lot of people repeat this phrase about they've said no wipe until 1.0? And I'm just like, I don't honestly know where this came from as a thing. I think we were getting shredded by that gladiator. Yeah, that gladiator is shredding me. Okay, we're running again.
I think I don't get when people say they've said. Well, they say a lot of things. I think that's a very, very simple statement, right? They can say whatever they want, but if everything goes to shit, they'll backtrack, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, are they going to turn around and go, oh, we said no wipes, so we're going to let the entire game just sit broken for however many years it may take?
Yeah, it's just like, and I just don't get it in terms of, at some point they are gonna need to test the game's economy, like, properly, and that in itself, like, testing economy stuff properly is probably gonna take a wipe, and then another wipe, and maybe another wipe, like. So I don't necessarily think so. I don't necessarily think that the economy can't work without wipes. But what it really needs is it really needs cash sinks. Like, and that's one of the problems, and it's one of the reasons that like we probably do need regular wipes. Like, we have too much money. Because we don't have to really pay for anything. Like, I'm about to engage in one of the only regular cash sinks in the game, spending a few credits repairing my entire multi-million credit ship. Like, there are in-game ships to buy, I suppose, but like, compared to the amount of money that people can make, it's really... There's insufficient cash sink. But if you, I think there's more possibility that you can do stuff like, if there's taxes to pay, if insurance is a regular cost that people have to keep up with, etc., etc. Then, and then, like, when we move into the realm of, like, land claims, space stations, all that sort of stuff, like, those can have, like, huge maintenance costs associated with them. So, that's the avenue you got when, the avenue when it comes to getting some decent cash sinks into the game. To start taking money out. Because currently all we've got is just money supply go up. And then that leads to inflation. And then when money supply goes up a lot, hyperinflation. And people are more focused about putting their money into like player-to-player trading, which is cool and it's good fun. But it's not great because it doesn't actually reduce the money supply at all. So it doesn't take the inflation out of the system. But yeah,
I
as
enjoy
Noise
how
says, sorry, you go, Ruff.
Sorry, I was going to say, I enjoy how comedy type players are as well, in terms of like, you know, abandon and reclaim every ship rather than paying any sort of refuel cost. You know, I'm going to carry 2 empty cruise bottles around rather than buying a new cruise bottle. You're like, it's 8 credits. Like, you must hoard the 8 credits.
Yeah. Look after the pennies, Ruff. Look after the pennies. But yeah. The I mean, the whole thing with, like, for example, like, you know, we fired off some torpedoes in the Perseus the other day, and it was like 500k for new torps. Like, some of that stuff is a bit like mismatched, shall we say? But yeah, people will just be tempted to be like, well, Perseus isn't that bad a claim. Just get me a new Perseus. Right, so what I displayed there was a good example of just running away. But that gladiator did more damage than I expected. So I took the option of live to fight another day. And now I'm going to take the option of lobbing loads of missiles at him. Because why not? I'm also going to read Tatsu's message before I get too logged in. Yeah, that is a good point. That is a good point, Tatsu. Yeah, trying to balance cash sinks to stop, you know, the players who are multi-billionaires, no offense, from accumulating cash too quickly with the needs of keeping the game fun for casual players. Is a bit problematic, and it's a very hard balance.
I think there's going to be a rude awakening for a lot of people in terms of costs, especially on bigger stuff. Like, there's no way they can leave capital ships being as cheap as they currently are in terms of running costs, right? And everyone's getting used to the cushy lifestyle.
Yeah.
I think one day it's going to cost, you know, potentially millions to, you know, take your big ships on a quick war crime.
I am not capable of fighting AI gladiators, apparently. That's a new one. Anybody going to be back with me anytime soon? As I sit in my soft death ship.
I'll see what ship I can find. I was settling down because it's pushing 11:30.
Oh, it's good time to just be like, we float off into the ether. that is actually a good point. I hadn't seen the time, and we did say this would be a shorter one. We need to cap ourselves. So on the final note of, yeah, that I'm starting to understand with that what that gladiator just did to me. Why it's in the best in show. So maybe that's one that we need to add to. Maybe we should be doing it in a gladiator, Rav. Next time. We can draw straws as to who has to fly. I mean, I am also gonna just let myself EVA the 8 kilometers back to that ace pilot because, you know, I'm a loot goblin. That's
With your cape going, that's the only reason you're doing this.
Oh yeah, glorious cape. It's why the cape's like 90% of why I bought this armor. But yeah, I think there will be some tears when they make capitals, because the thing I'm struggling to get with, like, how they balance this game. If you've got 2 opposing factions, like player factions, you need to get to a point where one side gives up.
there needs to be a point where like two sides are fighting over an objective. Whatever that objective is, they've decided that it's worth getting stuck into a fight over. And in order for that objective gameplay to make sense, there needs to be a point of attrition where it's like we don't want to, we're out, we're done. Like if you take a game like Eve, that's because every ship costs, like if a ship's destroyed, it's destroyed. So every time in like nullsec where you don't have the insurance, if you're throwing ships into a battle and they're getting blown up left and right, you're like, we're going to have to build another one of those ships. Every time one's destroyed, we are losing the resources, we're losing the money it costs to make that ship. And we will need to replace it. And if we're not careful and we throw all of our ships away and they all explode, then we're not going to be able to, like, you know, if we lose all of our fleet in an attack, we're not going to have a fleet to defend with. Whereas, like, if every time I lose my Idris, I've just got to pay 150k, which is, let's face it, nothing by the point you've got an Idris. Like, okay, so 150k, and that one's going to be back in an hour. So, like, if you get into the realm where, like, orgs are doing that, then how do you stop any fight basically being decided by who is the most patient? Like, just it's just a patience game at that point. We can keep people online the longest. And that's not a good reason for like a fight to end. Like, they outlasted us in terms of keeping players online. Like, yeah. It's like it needs to ask the question of like, is the point of fighting for stuff just the fight, right? Is it we're going to create a game where like fighting is fun and therefore people will want to do fighting for the sake of fighting? Or is it a case of like we want to create a game where strategy matters? Where it's like, where there's a... Because you need the risk of like, we'll make an attack to be like... we need there to be a point where it's like the risk of making this attack is that we lose more than we could potentially have gained. You know, we're attacking to try and take their territory, but in doing so we lost our own, like, because we were unable to defend it. That's the game I would like to see, but that would require a very different, more punishing system of claiming and expense around particularly around the very big ships, which is where I think you can steer clear of it affecting newer players or more casual players. But yeah. Oh, thank you very much for that, Solek, and thank you for the Prime subscription, Latus. Much appreciated. Yeah. Sea of Thieves was classic for it, but Sea of Thieves I think was meant to just be like the joy of the fight, which is fine. That's a fine thing to do. But yeah, right. And after that last little ramble, that's I think we'll probably wrap up there before mine and Ravnak's. We're trying to stop playing games before midnight. That's the goal. But big thanks to Ravnak and Sniggy for backing me up, and a big thank you to everybody for popping in and hanging out. And as we might have missed it, do make sure to enter the giveaway just via the Loudguns channel in the Frontier Media. I have typed giveaway, and what react did we say? Frontier Gold. Frontier Gold is the emote you need to do to enter yourself into to get your raffle ticket from tonight. And we'll be giving away a couple of salvations on Sunday, but feel free to also just spam some other emotes in there just to confuse the people who didn't actually watch the stream. We like to be crafty. Okay. Right, well, thanks everyone for watching. Do you want to say good night, Ravnak and Sniggy?
Good night, Ravnak and Sneaky.
There we go. The classic joke never gets old. And yeah, and chuck an eel emote in to throw over it. Let's ramp up those eel numbers. Right. Catch you guys later.